Hi, welcome to Sprightful Solar. This is a really quick presentation where we're going to run you through some of what we do and why we think it's really cool that you're here and that we're going to meet soon. So, Sprightful is a company that started in 2015, and the word Sprightful, believe it or not, used to be used way more back in the day, and it means full of pure and clean energy. And yeah, that's kind of what we stand for. We've installed thousands of solar panels that prevent a lot of CO2 emissions, and our family of Sprightful homes keeps growing, and it's somewhere in the 200s. And yeah, instead of planting trees, the idea is let's harvest the sun and help the environment. So, with that said, we are solar experts. In this picture, you see some of our team, including me. I'm the guy in the battery shirt with a big smile. This is recently in a home that went solar, and we love what we do. So let's get right to it. We've got a combined 35 years of experience in the solar industry. Some of our installation team has been in the industry for more than a decade, and we know a lot about how to install solar panels on rooftops. Our reputation says the same. These are some of the reviews that some of our kind clients have written about us. They seem to really like us. We've yet to have gotten a bad review, knock on wood, but everyone seems to like what we do, from the installation crew to the information that we give to people, and of course to the service that we provide after the installation. Everyone seems to be really happy with everything. This is actually a message from the founder, which happens to be me, but I'll just be quiet for a second and let you guys listen.
Hi, welcome to Sprightful, and welcome to the renewable energy revolution. This is a baby solar panel, and we can use solar panels to power our lives. We can use solar panels to power anything we want, and it's become so financially feasible that we'd love to show you how we can do it. Before we get into how we can do it, because we know you're going to love that, I want to touch a little bit on why this is so important. And to do that, I want to show you this graph, because data is beautiful. If you look at the past 400,000 years, scientists have been analyzing data to see that there's been a cyclical movement in the CO2 concentration in the atmosphere over the past 400,000 years. And something drastic happened when humanity entered the Industrial Revolution, and our thirst for energy and fossil fuels really began. And of course, we didn't know this back then, but this thirst and this use of fossil fuels was having a dramatic impact on the CO2 concentration in the atmosphere. Now, this sharp spike has no end in sight. If we can continue to consume fossil fuels the way we do today, we have no idea what could happen. But climate change is a very important factor in our future. And more than likely, our children, our grandchildren, and their grandchildren are going to have to deal with some of the consequences. Well, we can actually help. We can actually help the future by doing something today. And what we'd like to show you today is that our rooftops are being hit with a lot of solar energy. And if we find a way to harvest this solar energy and use it to power our lives, we do an amazing thing and have a positive impact on the future. That's why we're here today, and that's why we're so excited.
What a handsome guy, honestly. So obviously this presentation is meant to be done by other members of the team, and it's a good way to introduce who I am. So that is me, that's Pablo, the one talking to you now. Let's continue. Yeah, so that's very simple. Solar is something that is great for the planet. How do we make it simple for everyone to participate? Well, we came up with, there's a couple different options, right? And what we've realized is that the two options that exist right now are a little bit difficult. Number one is just cash. You want to buy it, you pay for it. Number two is you get a long-term loan, which locks you in at a fixed rate for to 10, 15, 20, 30 years. And some people are okay with that. that's totally fine. It's actually not that big of a deal, but for the majority of people, it just isn't good enough. So, what do we do about it? Well, we think we have the solution, something that answers all the questions, something that takes care of answering the question of does it make sense, even if it's so kind of expensive? And what happens if I decide to move somewhere else? And of course, what is the return on my investment? Does it make financial sense? Well, that's where the saving sharing plan comes in. Saving sharing plan is a way that we can all work together to harvest the sun, make money, and save the planet. And how does that work? Well, it's very simple. We just replace your energy bill with the saving sharing plan. And we become, as a company, a service to you and your home. We replace the electric bill you pay every month with something that is better, something that is cheaper, and something that is better for the environment. So you reduce your CO2 emissions, which are, of course, something that is representative of the future, something that is hopefully good for the future, and you save money, which can be considered an income. On average, the savings can be pretty substantial. You can add a solar battery to your house, and that will allow you to power the house even in the case of an outage. And of course, having a solar system on your roof is just a really beautiful thing. It's a really great way to participate in the renewable energy revolution. So that's the idea. We're going from the archaic way of dealing with energy to something that is more transparent. There's a lot more data that comes in second by second and allows you to participate in the renewable energy revolution with no upfront costs, no need to tie a lien to your house. You're able to use your home equity for other things. You can transfer this to another person if you ever sell your house, no problem. You can prepay and you can pay for the system with no penalty. You can cancel, of course. You can add batteries, and of course, it's one single utility bill that is replaced with another single saving sharing plan bill. So one replaces the other, and you don't have to worry about keeping track of many things. So comparing to the other versions of financing for solar energy, which we talked about before, the cash and the loan, you can see that the saving sharing plan shines in all aspects. It allows you to go solar with no upfront cost, immediately start saving, quickly transfer this to somebody else if you decide to move out of your house, allows you to stay liquid for other investments that you might need. You can do it without necessarily attaching a lien to your house with a loan. You can opt out. You can decide to get out of it at any time, no problem. And of course, just like any other solar system that we install, it has great warranty and is compatible with batteries, so you can power the house even during outages. So we're really doing what we can to redefine residential or home energy solar. And here's what to expect. So it's very simple. The way it works is right now, your house is pulling energy from the electric grid, which uses power plants that are far away, but these are power plants that are producing CO2 emissions and are generally not good for the environment. All we do is we've realized that since the sun is there and it's hitting your rooftop all the time, that energy is simply getting wasted. It's bouncing back or turning into heat. Well, that's not good. There's a potential there that isn't being tapped into. The moment you decide to add solar panels to your house with saving sharing plan, now we've got solar panels grabbing that energy, using that energy to power your house, and then of course feeding some of that energy back into the electric grid, which benefits the entire nation, the entire world really. And the power plants that were producing a lot of CO2 start producing less CO2. The more people join this, the less CO2 that these power plants will produce. So in terms of numbers, what does it look like? Because we all have a piggy bank, we all want to be saving, we all want to be making money, we all want to make sure that the things that we're investing our time into are being lucrative somehow. So what does that mean? Well, saving sharing plan pays you month to month. The way it pays you is very simple. The savings that the solar panels are generating, some of that goes to you, some of that goes to us in order to pay for our services and the solar panels and everything. but every month you get an extra little bit of income. So what we've done is we've analyzed all of the people that have already joined this plan, and we've seen that on average, they're making about $700 a year by just switching away from their utility company to something greener, something better. $700 a year might not seem like a lot, but honestly, that could mean a trip, a special trip to visit someone, a family member. It could mean extra gifts for people. It could be anything really. It's great money to have in your piggy bank. And of course, that's the other part of the numbers is that this is great for the environment. It's great to offset some CO2. It's the equivalent of the same amount of CO2 that 474 acres of forest can capture in a year, or 427,000 tons of coal not being burned. That's amazing. And of course, we all recycle. We try to. This is the equivalent of recycling 289,000 pounds of waste. That's incredible. This is the future of energy, and I hope you really enjoy what you've seen so far. I do want to touch a little bit about how it works. So we have this technology that all the time monitors the energy of your house, how much energy you're making, how much energy you're using. That's how we calculate the savings every month. And of course, we need good data in order to do that. So all the time, we're capturing or we're collecting as much information about the sunlight hitting your house and how that energy is being used. So it's great. It's amazing. It gives you a lot of insight. And we always know how the solar panels are working. And of course, in the case that they stop working, it's our responsibility to get them back up in working order. And the other part that a lot of people worry about is what happens during a hurricane? How do I make sure this is not going to hurt my house? We actually design all of the solar systems that we install to be able to withstand Category 5 hurricanes. And we get permits for all of it through the city. A lot of engineers look at all the information before we install them. The warranty that we offer is exceptional for the duration of the period of 20 years. We seal everything to make sure that the system is leak proof. And of course, a lot of people will have to re-roof during the course of the system's lifetime. We will pull the panels down and put them back on when the roof is redone. And like I said before, 170 mile per hour hurricane winds are not a problem with our designs. Everything is directly anchored to the house's support structure and is very safe. Like I said before, if you sell your house, there's three simple options. The best option that we prefer is you just transfer the solar panels and the service to the new person, the new homeowner. If you can purchase the panels that have already been installed and sell them with the house. So the house will be worth more. It'll include solar panels, and that's a good way to transfer this to a new homeowner. The third option is to remove the solar panels for an uninstallation fee, but that exists in the particular case that neither of the two options, the two first options, works. And at the end, what does this mean for you? Well, it means that your house can be solar powered. That's what we want. We want to make sure it's easy financially, no issue, no upfront costs, nothing. And you make money every year. Every year, about $700 on average. That's really great. Money straight into your piggy bank. And we also are interested in growing our solar family. So there's additional benefits that come to people who speak highly of us to their friends, and we love to get referrals. And so we'll always be incentivizing that with bonuses along the way. Join us. It's going to be really fun, and it's important to make moves like this in life and participate in movements that are exciting, movements that are interesting, and hopefully aid us in creating a more sustainable planet. Thank you so much. I'll leave you with this video of a house with solar panels. Looks pretty nice if I say so myself. You know what's funny is that we've installed solar panels on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of this house's neighbors' after we did this one. So solar seems to spread like wildfire. It's really beautiful. Okay, now I'm going for real. I'll talk to you next time.